I get the privilege of introducing our next speaker, Missoula's 50th mayor, John Engen. Last count. And hoping to stay that way for a little while. I'm not running, so you don't have to worry about that. Mayor Engen is committed to affordable housing, conservation, and Missoula's public lands and regulation reform. He was elected in 2005 in a race that began with 6 candidates. He ran unopposed and was re-elected on November 3rd, 2009. See, you didn't even have any competition last time. Since taking office in 2006, Engen made good on his promise to pass an open space bond for Missoula and worked with Missoula County to help ensure that important lands in and out of the city were protected for our generations and those who inherit this special place. Engen's affordable housing team has worked for 2 years identifying housing needs in the city, educating our neighbors about the importance of workforce housing to our economy and community, and creating momentum for decision makers to consider housing affordability as they make policy choices. In 2008, a clear majority of the Missoula City Council passed an affordable housing resolution formalizing the city's commitment to decent housing for all Missoulians. Under Mayor Engen's direction, the city embarked on a difficult but necessary mission of updating and reforming the city's antiquated zoning regulations. Based on his belief that considerable community tension is the product of outdated and outmoded regulations, Engen, again with the support of a majority of the council, launched a grassroots process to write regulations that work for Missoula and its wide variety of citizens. In 2009, the council approved the new regulations. With his leadership team and capable city staff, Engen delivered balanced budgets to council, continued to deliver important services to the folks who count on the city for clean, safe streets, fire, medical aid, permits, parks, and much more. Before serving as mayor, John served a term on the city council. He was an award-winning writer. Are you still not writing? Emails. And editor for the city's daily newspaper. Owned and operated his own small business and volunteered for a variety of Missoula's nonprofit organizations, concentrating on human services. As an amateur auctioneer and MC, Engen helped raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to help our friends and neighbors in the community. John was born in Missoula in 1964, attended Willard Elementary School, Helgate High School, and the University of Montana, where he earned his bachelor's degree in journalism. With his wife Tracy, he continues to own and operate the travel agency in Missoula. The Engens live in the Rattlesnake Valley with a rescued greyhound Patches, a rescued Labradoodle Odie, a cat Mittens, which was born in the trunk of a Pontiac. I don't even want to go there. And a bunch of fish. Please welcome Mayor John Engen.
Thank you very much, Chad. I appreciate that. Want to acknowledge Commissioner Curtis and Commissioners Carey and Landquist. We're pretty fortunate here in Missoula and Missoula County in as much as we actually can have conversations across the street. I know that in a bunch of jurisdictions around Montana, elected officials from cities and counties have restraining orders against one another. So we're really fortunate that we can cooperate in so many ways that are meaningful, and I appreciate the commissioners' work and that of their staff, a number of whom are here today as well. I want to also acknowledge a number of city council folks are here today. They work hard every day to ensure that they're serving the public and their interests. Thank them all for being here, and a number of city staff members are here. Appreciate them being here as well, and I know that they all clocked out before they came. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of Missoula is the story of, in part, the city of Missoula, our daily work, our plans, our successes, our failures. In large part, though, the state of Missoula is the story of human beings making a life in this community and how they go about making that life. At the city of Missoula, we're in the business of supporting community, ensuring that folks have a safe, secure, clean, comfortable city that allows for commerce and creativity, retailing and recreation, education and entrepreneurship, healthy minds and bodies that thrive. So every day we police the community with more than 100 officers who have sworn an oath, as I have, to serve and protect you. With a professional firefighting staff of more than 90 men and women, we roll on thousands of calls for medical aid when folks are in trouble. When there's a fire, we're there. We inspect buildings, though no one has pulled a gun on us recently, and restaurants and pipes, doing the sometimes unpopular but necessary work of ensuring that our children aren't injured because of faulty wiring, or our families don't turn up in emergency rooms with food poisoning or worse. We build streets and sidewalks. We do our part to make sure that if you don't have a car, can't drive, and need to get somewhere, the doctor, the grocery store, you can. We help you understand what you can and cannot do on a piece of ground, and in many cases, we do so in the hard place between someone who wants to do something and someone who doesn't want it done. We help maintain an art museum and a business improvement district. We stand up to support our schools and our university through cooperation and collaboration. We think that graduation matters because our kids matter. We collect and treat human waste. And while that is not the sexiest bullet on a resume, there would be no Missoula as we know it without a wastewater plant. We help businesses grow in our urban renewal districts. We help thousands of folks take care of themselves with hundreds of acres of parks and miles of trails, playgrounds in neighborhoods, first-rate, fiscally sound aquatics facilities that are the envy of other communities. We offer free, wholesome entertainment and programs for families who could and could not afford them otherwise. Our public health nurses reach out to new mothers and babies who would be lost in the wilderness without us, giving them a chance to succeed when, in some cases, they are set up to fail. We prosecute DUIs and domestic violence cases. We serve the victims of crime, and we work to keep crimes from happening again. Based on all of that work that we do day in and day out, our part of the state of Missoula is sound. We have survived the worst recession in modern memory without dismantling government, selling off our assets, and doubling or tripling taxes in a single year or two, which is the story of some of our brothers and sisters in many other communities around the nation. We cut our budgets, we held our wages, and we raised taxes and fees only modestly at percentages far lower than the percentages of our cuts. And today, in the early months of 2011, Missoula is poised, I believe, to enjoy the recovery. I see the evidence everywhere. This morning, the Missoula Economic Partnership kicked off our Best Place Project campaign at the corner of Broadway and Ryman, where the partners of Garlington, Lawn, and Robinson chose to invest about $15 million in the future of Missoula. At that kickoff, we announced that we raised almost $2.3 million from partners in the public and private sectors who are willing to invest in the future of Missoula. A year ago, I stood before you with the idea that we could do more together to develop Missoula's economy. Today, we're searching for an executive director for a true investor-driven public-private partnership charged with growing quality jobs in Missoula by supporting existing businesses, recruiting new businesses that are a great fit for our great community, and creating opportunities for entrepreneurs and developing infrastructure. I want to recognize a few folks in the room today who, with me, represent the founding members of the Missoula Economic Partnership. Jeff Fee is here from St. Patrick Hospital and Health Sciences Center, Stacy Mueller, the publisher of the Missoulian, Dirk Visser, president of Allegiance Benefit Plan Management, and Scott Burke, the president of First Security Bank. These folks have demonstrated a significant commitment to Missoula through their investments of time, money, intellect, and energy. They're joined by dozens of others in the community with a strong appetite for growing wealth for all Missoulians. We have great partners in Missoula County and the University of Montana, institutions without which this program would not thrive. UM Executive Vice President Jim Foley has been with us all the way. We have great partners in the women and men from businesses large and small who've invested in the partnership or committed their time to developing a business plan that is specific to the Garden City. And the folks who've been toiling in the field for a long time deserve credit too. Dick King and the Board of Directors of the Missoula Area Economic Development Corporation have embraced and encouraged the Best Place project and the partnership. We meet monthly with the MADC Board of Directors to ensure that our efforts complement one another and that we're working with the community's best interests at heart. I see the evidence everywhere. Dave Beaton dropped off a check at the mayor's office the day after we first talked about the Best Place project a year ago. Dave owns Taco del Sol. He's a remarkably soft-spoken, intelligent, and honorable small business owner. He believes that a more vital Missoula is good for his business, his family, his employees, and all of us. I want Dave at the table as we move forward, and it's not just because he serves burritos that are the size of a toddler. It's because he has faith in our place and our future. I see the evidence everywhere. Over the weekend, I saw Missoulians raise their bid numbers over and over again in support of CASA, court-appointed special advocates, volunteers who stand up for children in the court system under the ugliest of circumstances, all of which are beyond the children's control. They invested thousands of dollars in that nonprofit organization because they have faith in our place and in our future. And I see that faith demonstrated over and over and over. I see the evidence everywhere. The Boyce family chose to invest with courage in their business, even as they saw a recession coming. Boyce Lumber is in business today, winning national awards for innovation because the owners elected to invest with courage and back that courage with a plan. And they chose to show up over and over, even when the chips are down, because they have faith in our place and in our future. I see the evidence everywhere. The great teachers at Missoula County Public Schools, Alex Apostle and his board, are doing the tough work to make our school system the best in the country. It's hard and it's sometimes painful, but they're doing the work because they have faith in our place and in our future. The same holds true at the University of Montana, where Royce Engstrom is working with his collective resources to not only educate a workforce, but educate folks who will need a workforce. He does it because he has faith in our place and in our future. At United Way, my friend Shannon Flanagan's been leading a campaign with Susan Hay Patrick and tireless volunteers to fund important community agencies and their work. I know that Shannon has a lot of other stuff to do, but he does it because he has faith in our place and in our future. I see the evidence everywhere. There's a smile or a hello. Wherever someone inconveniences herself for someone else, wherever we take care of a vulnerable kid, a vulnerable adult on the street, a vulnerable animal. Wherever we stand up in the face of name-calling and negativity to support the rights of someone who's different from us and know somehow instinctively that we might need that support ourselves sometime. We do all of this because we have faith in our place and our future. We're doing pretty well today in Missoula, Montana. And while the Frenchtown Mill is empty, the Macy's building won't be for long. And there's much, much more to do. My Chief Administrative Officer, Bruce Bender, and I commissioned a report that says we can serve our citizens better at City Hall. And I'm committed to working with Missoula County, our professional staff, and the folks we serve to organize ourselves to better support economic and community development. We're going to make it easier to do business with the city of Missoula without lowering our standards, which must maintain the quality of life in our community. We will get that hard work done. I worked with Missoula County and our community partners to commission a report that describes the needs of homeless people in Missoula. What we learned is that our chronically homeless folks are mostly our friends and our neighbors, folks who are a paycheck or a medical bill or a mental illness or a dependent child or a third job away from having a decent, stable place to live. They want what we want, but can't get there without help. Tell you what, if I were a hardworking, decent human being who happened to be poor in Missoula, I'd hope that my existence, my humanity alone, would be enough reason for someone to try to help me. That's all the reason we should need. If you are a bad actor, a predator who treats our streets as a source of easy money and our public places as a playground where you may be violent and vile, a creep who preys on the generosity of good people, you are not welcome here. But if you are a poor and hungry and sick and suffering human being, you have my commitment to help you find a home so that you can enjoy the basics of life that many of us take for granted. We'll get that hard work done. We have a community treasure in the heart of the city, a baseball stadium that got built despite relentless obstacles. Thousands and thousands of folks spend lovely summer evenings meeting their neighbors and having fun at that ballpark, which was promised to the city from the days when it was a dream. Incredible people invested themselves personally, professionally, and financially to getting the stadium built, but unless it can be refinanced, this public amenity will become a private asset. I want Play Ball Missoula to establish and maintain a maintenance fund. The taxpayers don't bear that burden over time, and I want the city of Missoula to own that facility and the ground where we've already made significant investment free and clear. I'll work with lenders, our redevelopment agency, the honorable folks at Play Ball Missoula, and the community to get this deal done. The debt needs to be resolved, the asset needs to be secured as a next step in completing our downtown riverfront system. Where a mill once stood, where a brownfield lingers, will make way for a new vital neighborhood adjacent to trails, the Clark Fork River, Silver Park, and our Civic Stadium. We will get that hard work done. And we'll continue to do all of the things for which we are responsible every day. And we'll do more. As much as we seek change and progress in our lives, our work, our institutions, the real pressure that I feel as your mayor is to keep most things just the same. We'll do some of that, but we'll be doing more. We'll be changing the way we do business, changing the way we approach problems, and in doing so, we'll be changing our circumstances for the better. I'm asking all of you today to think about your choices as you live your life here in Missoula, Montana. You may be the voice of reason or the voice of discord. You may be constructive or destructive in your criticism of the community, organizations, and institutions in which you have a stake. You can stand for something positive or fall for something negative. You can demand more from yourself and lead by example, or you can expect more from others and throw stones when it doesn't go your way. Every day, right here in Missoula, Montana, you can engage in your community in a way that clearly shows that you have nothing but faith in our place and in our future. If you can do that, we will share something meaningful, something enduring, and something fundamental. We will share faith in each other. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing but powerful. As I tell the ladies and gentlemen of the Missoula City Council on Monday nights when we adjourn, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mayor Engen. Please take about 5 minutes and discuss with your tables and try to come up with a couple of questions. We will start 5 minutes. Gary and who else will be? Bill will be roaming around the audience with microphones to ask questions to either Commissioner Curtis or Mayor Engen.